Hi, my name is Sidney Bristol, and I am a New York Times and USA Today bestselling author of romance. Today, I'm going to do a NaNoWriMo prep. Some of you participate annually in this event. Some of you are like, what are you talking about? What is this nano what? NaNoWriMo, or National Novel Writing Month, is an annual event that takes place during the month of November. From November 1st to that very last day at midnight, the challenge is to write 50,000 words. The concept is that for 30 days, you are writing daily, you are working on your book, and you're going to put words on a page. Now, the typical novel starts at around 75,000 words, so yes, the goal for NaNoWriMo is a little bit short of what is a traditional novel. Some novels will go up to 300, 500,000 words, as if you're going to write something that's along the lines of the George R. R. Martin books. Those are very long, and those are not the average length. So NaNoWriMo is more about getting the habit down than actually churning out a complete and finished work. So there are typically about 3 different kinds of people that participate in NaNoWriMo. You might be one of them. You might be one of the subcategories. So typically we see bucket listers. These are people who have always had this really, really cool novel idea. They've always wanted to tell this one story. It is the one book that is just burning in their heart, and this is a bucket list thing. They want to take part in this really cool, very high energy, once a year challenge and write their book. And that's awesome. I mean, writing a book in general is hard. And for someone who's going to sit down and is going to start doing this challenge, good job to you. That's awesome. The second category are people who participate in NaNoWriMo every single year. They might not write outside of November, but every November they are participating, they're coming to events, they are putting words on a page, they're meeting their friends that they do this with every year, and they're making new friends, and it's a community kind of challenge that a lot of people rally around. And then your third group of people that participate in NaNoWriMo are some form of career or regular hobby writers. These are people who write from beginning of the year to the end of the year, but Nano is often a month where they get to take what is typically a very solo and hermit-like hobby, and they get to do it with other people. So for me, I write every single month. I could make I write more than 50,000 words in a month, but that's me. I didn't used to. My first Nano, it was a challenge to get to 50,000 words. Now I write a little bit more than 50,000 words in a month, and that's okay. It's a habit. It's a habit that I've created and I've cultivated, and so can you guys. So let's say this is your first NaNoWriMo, or you're wanting to come at NaNoWriMo a little bit different. I have about 6 tips that I think you can use even though we're just a couple of days away. These are still something that you guys can do now. My first tip, is that you need to start reading or reviewing different story structure materials, tips, tricks, anything that's going to help you know the fundamentals of a book and writing your book better. For me, and for something for a weird something I've been struggling a lot with lately, is that I start telling a story. I know what the story is. But I forget to write down my characters' goals, their motivations, and their conflicts. So I get about halfway through the book and I'm like, their conflict is this now. And then when I go back to edit, I have to like completely change that conflict throughout the whole book so that it's consistent and they don't just randomly decide to have some sort of other conflict. I'm a career writer and I do this. It's okay if you do it too. So my my second tip is that pre-write, outline, do some sort of research. You might be a pantser. It might be very, very important for you to just not have any plan whatsoever, but maybe you need some sort of material to write about. So you need to research trains in the 1950s, or coal production, or some sort of space neat thing, or horses, or something that's going to help you write your story better. For me, this means that I'm going to sit down with my outline. My outlines are rather large, and I'm going to sit down with that. I'm going to review it. I'm going to evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of it. I'm going to write down my goal, motivation, and conflict for all of my characters, and I'm going to be ready come October. No, November 1st. Goodness, it's October now. Oh, I'm so special. Okay, so my third tip is that you should experiment with your schedule. I used to think that I was a night owl writer, that the only time I was going to get stuff done is late at night. And so I needed everybody else to go to bed. I needed to get past midnight and then I could write. No, I found out once I started doing a very detailed schedule kind of plotting outline thing where I tracked what time it was, how much I was able to write, my energy level, how long I was able to write. And I found that I'm a morning writer. And I don't like it, but it's when I write the best. So now my typical schedule is I get up about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning and I start writing immediately. And I will write till about 2 or 3 in the afternoon and then I start editing. So that's my schedule. That's what works for me. But you need to figure out what works for you. Maybe you have a full-time job, so you need to be able to figure out, can you write before work? Can you write during lunch? Can you write on breaks? Is there time? Can you write directly after work? Or do you have to wait till everybody else goes to bed and different things? Or if you're a student, can you write between classes? Is there a chunk of time whenever you can do most of your writing? Do you need to block out time? So finding out your schedule and when you can write will make the month a lot easier to handle and there will be less frustration. So my fourth tip is to warn your family and friends that you are going to be in serious writer mode. For me, that means I'm gonna make whenever I make my monthly meal planning sheet. A lot of our meals are going to be single dish, put in the oven things, or they're going to be things I can put in a crock pot because those are the easy things. And since my NaNoWriMo this year is going to be a 90,000 word month, I've got to plan very carefully. So I warned my family, hey guys, I'm not going to answer my phone before noon. Like if you call me in the morning, I'm not going to answer because I got a lot of stuff to write. I let my boyfriend works from home as well. We're both work from home. So we talk about our schedule. Can we do lunch together? Can we not do lunch? Figure that out. Let the people in your life know, because it's important. Because they're going to feel lonely and abandoned if you don't warn them that you're about to dive into writing a book. So my fifth thing: prepare your space and your environment. This might sound kind of weird, but I would definitely say if there's a space that you write in, maybe clean it or put up a whiteboard or some notes. Maybe prepare that space so that come November you aren't like, oh wow, I need to clean this desk. It's a little bit dirty. My desk is white. It wasn't a smart choice. I always want to clean it. And also, especially if you're someone who writes on a laptop or if you're a mobile writer, make sure that your laptops are charged, all of your other work is backed up, you have extra batteries for your Bluetooth mice. They're just equipment things that you don't really want to have to think about during the month, especially if you're in a huge crunch. And my last tip is connect on the forums. Seriously, one of the best things about NaNoWriMo is the way it connects writers from all across the world. You meet new people, you meet friends that you're going to have for years, and it is a unique, exciting experience. So make the most of your NaNoWriMo this November. Sign up, add me as a buddy, and let's write 50,000 words or whatever you're doing if you're a nano rebel. Bye, guys.